hear you. Currently, we are at the Unity Fountain where students have gathered in their numbers, and we have more than 200 students who have turned out at the Unity Fountain for the nationwide protest by the National Association of Nigerian Students. As we know, this strike is about, this protest is about the strike embarked upon by the Academic Staff Union of Universities over the last 2 weeks. This is not the first time that ASUU will be going on strike. As a matter of fact, it is the second time in less than 2 years. In 2020, when the union went on strike, the strike lasted for about 9 months. The Nigerian students seem to be frustrated. Today they are supposed to be in their classrooms, but the public universities are closed down and no academic activities going on in public universities. And for these students, they are frustrated with what is happening and they want the strike called off as soon as possible. We do know that the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASUU, will be meeting with the federal government tomorrow, Tuesday, to continue their dialogue in order to see that this strike is resolved. I have the president of the National Association of the Nigerian Students in person of Comrade Sunday Asefon, right? He will tell us what they intend to do from the Unity Fountain.
Thank you so much. I want to appreciate everybody. Here is a converging point for every one of us, and we are moving from here to strategic places in Abuja to show our grievances. And our grievances is so clear. We want ASUU and federal government to find an equilibrium to resolve this crisis. We want this strike to be called off as a matter of urgency. We don't want any story. We don't want any story from anybody because we believe, Nigerian students believe, after ASUU strike, no amount of days or weeks or months they spend or years, the member of ASUU will be get paid. The member of the federal government will get paid. Who pay Nigerian students? Nobody. And we are saying this again and again. For over a decade, federal government and ASUU have never seen students to be on streets on issues like this. But it is our time for us to take our destiny by ourselves. And that is why we are out. And what we are calling on the two parents, which is the federal government and ASUU, because their children are not in the public education. It's because their children are schooling over outside the country. Their children are in private university. That is why they don't care about us. Wasting our times every day, every time. We are saying enough of this madness from the federal government and ASUU. And we are calling on them to call up this strike permanently. If they fail to call up, they said they are meeting tomorrow. I can assure you Nigerians today will mobilize and we will be waiting patiently for them tomorrow. And if they fail to call up this strike, I can assure you, we are determined to be on street. Instead of us to be at home doing nothing, we will be on the street every day on this strike is being called off. And that is why we are calling on the federal government. And that's why we are calling on the federal government in any way they want to do. They should make sure that they meet with ASUU and they find a lasting solution. We want to go back to class. We want to go back to school. We want to go back to school. Open our university for all. We want to go back to school. Federal government and ASUU.
So you can hear the students. They are very unequivocal about what they want from the government. As a matter of fact, they have said that they will be on the street for as long as the strike continues. But let us look a little into the history of striking in Nigeria generally. Since 1999 to date, at least ASUU has gone on strike about 16 times. And in the last 2 years alone, like I said earlier on, ASUU has embarked on strike twice. For these students, they are standing on the fence because they are at the receiving end, both from ASUU and the federal government. This is all we have at this fountain, but we will be moving from this place to the Secretariat and then the National Assembly, where the protest is expected to proceed to. Back to you.
Education is a right. It's not a privilege. We are calling on them. They should talk to ASUU. They should talk to federal government. They should have an equilibrium. They should resolve their differences. We want to go back to school. We want to go back to class. We are tired of being at home. We are tired of being at home. years is now 6 years. A course of 5 years is now 8 years. We are begging them, the way they are taking our education, the government, the attitude of government and ASUU towards our education system in this country is alarming. We don't want it. We are calling on them. The ASUU should call us strike. If they don't call us strike, we are coming back. If they don't call us strike, we are coming back. Thank you so much, and I'm sure the Speaker and the Senate President will hear this message. We are leaving, but if we come back again, if the ASUU strike the door, if we don't help between now and Friday, permanently, I can assure you, if we come back here, we will not live here. We are bringing our bed, we are bringing our stoves, we are bringing our gas, and we will come and we will come here. Thank you, and God bless you.
Our school must be open. Education is our right. Education is our right.
Now we are going to the Ministry of Education. Yes. We want to go and tell the Minister of Education to come and intervene, because the Nigerian students cannot be a medium of negotiation all the time. They should look for another pattern. They should stop locking up our schools. Let them today. If he did not come and attend to Nigerian students, he must go. He must go. ASUU should know how to settle their case with federal government, because we are paying our school fees. We doesn't have time. Time is not responsible. We want our school to be open. Yes. We want our school to be open. Yes. And Luther continue. Victoria Asada.
If not that uniform, they will come and join you. Because all their children, they are public education. And we are telling them this morning, we are not here to fight anybody. But we are here to pass a message. And we are here to meet the minister that we know is supervising education. Please, I will continue saying that at the end of ASUU strike, if ASUU go on strike for 1 year, the salary of ASUU will be paid. If ASUU went on strike, the salary of the minister will be paid. But who paid Nigerian students? It is so simple. We are living in a country. We are living in a society that those who they have the opportunity to attend free education, those who education was given to them free of charge.
Our education, our universities, our polytechnics, our college of education has been commercialized. Despite the fact our education, our institution has been commercialized by the bourgeois and the capitalists. Despite the fact our life has been murdered by these bourgeois and capitalists who have no idea, who have no feelings about the children of the poor, who have no feeling for the children of the poorest. Like we have been saying, and I've said earlier, that they have bastardized the primary and secondary school education in this country. That we, over our dead body, that we open our eyes again, that these capitalists, these bourgeois, will bastardize our tertiary institution. Our message is clear. Our message is clear. We have no issue with anybody, but our issue with the federal government and ASUU, that they should find a common ground. They should find an equilibrium where they can meet without wasting our time. Because time waits for no man. The enemy that Nigeria today has today is time. A course of 4 years is now 6 years. A course of 5 years is now 8 years. We cannot continue this way. If the education was not freely given to them, they will not be a minister. If the education was not freely given to them, they will not be governors. If the education was not freely given to them, they will not be professors. We want to be professors. We want to be ministers. We want to be doctors. We want to be governor. We want to be president. But all this can be possible if our school is open. This can be possible if our schools are open. If our school is not open, we cannot have those rights. And we are paying for our school fees. We are so disappointed that at this time, ASUU and federal government, they said they are still renegotiating. What are they negotiating? They are negotiating in absence of the Nigerian students, who are critical stakeholders in the sector, who are critical stakeholders in what they are discussing. Imagine they are discussing the matter that affect our life, and we are not there. And that is why ASUU and FG has been deceiving us. Enough is enough. What we want ASUU to call up the strike. If the federal government is going to beg them, they should beg them. ASUU should also listen. They should also hear. They should open their ear and listen to us now. Because the majority of ASUU, the majority of their members, they stay in our institutions. And if this strike continues, as we are giving it to federal government, we'll be giving it to ASUU. We'll be giving it to ASUU, we'll be giving it to federal government. They should go and find a common ground. We want to go back to school. We understand the plight of everybody. The government are clamoring and they are saying there is no money. ASUU are insisting they must pay a certain amount of money. But our interest is at the end of the day, a semester who is 3 or 3.5 months will at the end of the day pile up to be one and a half months. And they will be complaining that Nigerian students are garbaging in and garbaging out. They said half-baked bread. It is their problem. It is not our problem. So we are calling on them. Their negotiation can be going on. Their negotiation can be ongoing while they resume back to work.
Mr. President, is there any ultimatum for this?
We are not giving ultimatum. Like I've told you, we have started. He has no hand. He has no hand. Until we have a critical and we have an evidence, an assurance that this strike will end. And let's say it again. The federal government and ASUU will be meeting tomorrow. In their meeting, I can assure you, wherever they want to meet, we don't know the place yet, but we can assure you, we will be there tomorrow. We will make sure we force them to reopen our school.
How soon do you hope and expect that Nigerian public schools will be open? How soon are you hoping and expecting?
I'm telling you that by tomorrow, we are going to make sure we find our way to whatever they want to meet, and we will make sure it's either they agree and call off the strike tomorrow. If not, if the strike is not being called off tomorrow, we will return back to streets.
I have heard what the president said. He said you want to see the minister. Yes. So I want to go upstairs, meet up with the minister, and bring him down for you people to come and address him. Is that okay? Yes. Is that okay? It's okay. Thank you.
Since the return of Nigeria to democracy in 1999, the Academic Staff Union of Universities has embarked on strike 16 times. In less than 2 years, the union has embarked on 2 strikes, this particular one being the second. In 2020, the strike embarked upon by ASUU lasted for about 9 months, disrupting academic activities. These students who have turned out in their numbers to protest against the strike want this action of the federal government and ASUU to come to an end. They want to return to their classes and study in order to graduate and become people of importance.
No, I just wanted to see you. Welcome. Probably you'll do
Self-introduction.
yes.
Beginning from the president.
Honorable Minister, my name is Comrade Sunday Adedayo Asefon, a postgraduate student from Ekiti State University.
We do not have any access or satisfaction about the way education is taken care of in this great nation. You did not see us as a future that you are going to hand over this country to. We have become unnecessary materials before the government of the day. And we are telling you as a father that if something is not reasonably done, if nothing is not reasonably done, the hope and the future of this country is in jeopardy. Because as a generation that will take over from you, we do not have adequate education, we do not have adequate welfare. You have left us to take care of ourselves. Now we have left our campuses to come and tell you we are not pleased with continuing incessant ASUU strike in this great nation. Anything that needs to be done should be done. Let our lecturers return to campus. Let our institutions be open so that we will not continue to be a victim of circumstances and become a subject of criminality in this country. We know how much Mr. President is investing in insecurity. We don't want to be compounded this insecurity in this great nation. The unending insecurity is as a result of youth idleness. This education sector has good number of youth in this great nation. It must be taken care of adequately and it must be prioritized. This is our message to you, Honorable Minister, sir. I want you to consider this as one of those moves to remedy this situation. We have resolved to continue to be in your office because there is no reason why your office will be open, why our campuses will not be open. If there is no student, we don't believe there is need for a minister. If there is no student, there is need for any lecturer. So we are the most important stakeholder, but we people have neglected us. This is our message, and we are appealing to you as a father. Consider beyond official duty that we must open our campuses for us to return back to our great institutions. So this country can have a future that all of us can be proud of tomorrow. Thank you very much, sir.
It's quite unfortunate that of all sectors in Nigeria, education is given the least attention. The implication of that is dangerous to any nation of the world. In the word of Nelson Mandela, he said something. He said, education remains the most valuable tool against poverty. And so every deliberate attempt to frustrate a population of people from being educated is a deliberate attempt to keep them in perpetual poverty. And the implication is, when the poor will rise against the few rich people, we wonder if this country will still continue with us. The only thing we are asking for, we know that upon graduation from school, even the opportunities are not even there for us to be employed. But yet, let us even have the education. The little that we are asking for. Several years we have gone on strike and meetings have been held with various agreements being reached that we don't know about, like my colleague said. This time around, we are not protesting that our school should be open alone. We are saying there should be a permanent end to ASUU strike. Because we are aware that at every time ASUU is on strike, the people at the receiving end are the Nigerian students. We know that the elites, majority of them have their children abroad. Even some lecturers have their children abroad. Lecturers, whether they're on strike or not, their salaries are paid. How about the child who has paid house rent, who has paid school fees, with no hope of other source of income, whose parents are poor farmers in the village, and you are telling them to renew rent after 9 months and all of that? Government doesn't compensate students when they strike. Whereas we pay our school fees, it's like an investment. Honorable Minister Sam, we want to appeal to you that whatever has to be done so that this strike will be put to an end once and for all should be done. And my president made it very clear in his instruction to us. He said, for as long as this strike lasts, Nigerian students will be on the street of Nigeria. Because if we are not in school, we should be on the street. And if we are not in school, why will government officers be in the offices? Make all of us go house. Make we day for house. Simple. Thank you, sir.
Nigerian students are asking me to ask you, sir, how comfortable is it for you, to sleep at night knowing that over 20 million Nigerian students out there, their life is constantly being toiled? The other one, sir, is as the Honorable Minister of Education, I do feel chairing over a ministry that is failing, that is ineffective. And the other one, sir, is there somebody somewhere secretly benefiting from this constant negotiation between federal government and ASUU? Those are the questions that Nigerian students are asking my capacity to ask you, sir. Thank you, sir.
I'm meeting the Honorable Minister for the first time. May I tell you, Honorable Minister, a lot of people are working in this ministry. They should not be in this ministry to be working. We are stand to be corrected. People who lack human character, who lack human feelings. I'm stand to be corrected as the president of now. Some of them are here what I'm saying now, and they are here. Unfair treatment that I've met on all time without number in this ministry. They are treating us as if we are taught citizens in this ministry. A ministry that serves as a supervisory ministry to education that we are directly a stakeholder in. Honorable Minister, our yearnings is so simple. As I speak to you today, I'm sure out of 36 states in this country, only those in South, even part of the South, Benin, Southeast, only Southeast, they are not protesting because today is still that order. And that is what we have in this country. But I can assure you tomorrow you will see them outside. Honorable Minister, whenever ASUU is on strike, we only keep quiet. But we discover that while we are doing that, our life, they are killing us gradually. They are killing our education gradually. ASUU strike does not have any meaningful effect to promote the education. Rather, ASUU strike is killing the education more. We understand our professors, our doctors, directly or indirectly, who are asking for increment of their salary. Fine, we all understand. We are all human. And as Honorable Minister, it is a thing that we believe that you people should sit down and iron it out. We don't believe it should extend it to a strike. Now, this strike has been affecting our life every day. I'm stand to be corrected. Since 1999, ASUU have had 16 different strikes. And I'm stand to be corrected. Nothing reasonable have come out of it. Then we ask a question. Is ASUU playing horse? We ask a question. Is the federal government playing horse? As a student of history, and as a student, we have a back on independent investigation. We discovered, is it the federal government that is lying or ASUU? Then we want to ask this question. Father, what are the content in the agreement that ASUU claim? That ASUU claim, I use that ASUU claim because we have met some people that they said there was no agreement between the federal government and ASUU. They said it's just a proposal. It's just a draft. That is why I want to ask. What are the content containing in 2009 agreement? If there is no agreement, why is this government still standing up to now and they have not addressed the general public? There was no agreement between them and ASUU. That is number one. Secondly, if there is an agreement between the federal government and ASUU, what level the government or the commitment our government towards this agreement. We want to know if there is, again, sir, and it's critical stakeholder in this sector, that every issue that actually is discussing, quote and unquote, I was saying it on Channel TV. It is that time we Nigerian students will put ourselves together, we take ourselves from hand of those who kidnap us and use us to take ransom from the federal government. If ASUU said they are fighting for Nigerian students, what are they asking for on behalf of Nigerian students? If federal government are also sincere, what are those things that ASUU is asking for? They know it's going to promote our education sectors in this country. Yes, we have seen the point ASUU hammer on is revitalization of our institution, which is a key for every student to key into the agenda of ASUU. But we want to know, you cannot be discussing about revitalization of our institution without Nigerian students be in that negotiation committee. On this note, Your Excellency, Honorable Minister, Nigerian students want to be part of this discussion. We want to really know what is going on between the ASUU and federal government. These are two parents, but these two parents have disappointed us. And as such, we don't have any trust in them. Again, lastly, Honorable Minister, our message is so clear. We want federal government and ASUU to find an equilibrium to meet as a matter of urgency, to call off this strike, while negotiation or anything else continue. We cannot be at home, like my colleagues have said. It's only Nigerian students that bear the blunt. They said, when two elephants fight, the grass suffer it. Like they have said, at the end of every tenure, at the end of every 4 years, Honorable Minister, this is your thought, this is your second time in office. Your salary will be paid. The salary of the lecturer will be paid. We want to really know what is happening. So, if it is for us to take our cross on us, we will be able to take that. So, we are tired of this incessant strike on our education sector. Nigerians should look at Nigerians who want to migrate from Ukraine back to Nigeria. It showed the lackadaisical attitude of our government toward the education sector. That is why Nigerians are leaving this country to study outside the country. Because our government has bastardized our education. They have killed the primary and secondary school education in this country. And you can only see the children of the poorest to attend public primary and secondary school. Now, all our lecturers, I can say it equivocally, that all our lecturers, all honorable ministers, we saw it on social media. You celebrated your son who graduated in a country, a university outside this country. We appreciate that. Our parents also have that money to send us outside the country. But we are in this country, then we should enjoy what we are paying for. So we want an adequate funding of education in this country. Honorable Minister, our message is we want to go back to class. We want our school to be open. If our school is not open, we have seen it. It's not a threat. When we said we are coming out, as I speak, nearly the Niger road is blocked, Benue is blocked, Adamawa is blocked. If care is not taken, this will be worse than NSAS. Thank you and God bless you.
So instead of coming here, you should have addressed your lecturers there. Perhaps the only point that you made that is worthy of even attention is you said students should be involved in this, and I think probably this is a very good thing.
Thank you, sir.
And it is the only thing I'm going to take out of what you have said here. Thank you very much.
Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. We shall always fight. Let the president speak. I'm telling us.
You can now see that we don't finish out. The minister that they are paying his salary. We don't finish out the state. We did not finish out the house. He walk out of us. President. Adamu must go. He must go. Adamu must go. That's why we got democracy. Adamu must go. Adamu must go. No, we're going to international will run to VC and later Oga. Abu must go.
Education must be prioritized. Education must be prioritized. In this way, Nigeria. Some of the poor we are studying in our public university, they want to make it miserable for us. We will not allow him to mess up our academic system.
Who are called the media?
Because his children are not schooling.
We are disappointed today. As the representative, and the president of Nigerian students, every Nigerian student across the 36 states, we have been on the street today to show our grievances against the ASUU strike. We don't plan to meet with the minister, but the police, the SSS, prevail on us. We should meet with the Minister of Education. Unfortunately, we met with the Minister of Education and we asked him questions. He should tell us what are the contents in the document, the agreement between them and ASUU in 2009. We also asked the minister what level of the commitment are the government toward this agreement. And I also told the minister, the honorable minister, that the education ministry is dying under your watch. After we have all expressed our mind, you know what the minister did to us? He walked out of us. That he didn't expect us to be asking him questions. Because I told him, the honorable minister, we saw you on social media last year, celebrating your son who graduated in UK. And he said that question should not be for him. And he walked out of us. What an insult. Because we asked a question that education ministry, education in this country is falling under your watch. And he said we don't have the authority to ask him that question. So you did not say what you want to hear. Because he believes we'll be coming to his office. We are not an hallelujah boys of anybody. We are not puppets of anybody. We have the mandate of Nigerian students. And Nigerian students gave us the mandate. We have no fear. Adamu must leave. Adamu must go. Minister of Education must go. He must go. So, our education sector, our students, they are outside. They said I should bring my ESCOs so that to discuss with the minister. Unfortunately, the minister walked out of us because we asked questions that we think we should ask.
Disappointed by the outcome of the meeting between the minister and the leadership of NANS, these Nigerian students here who are still standing behind the gate of the Ministry of Education say they want the federal government to address the ongoing strike embarked upon by ASUU so that they can go back to their classrooms. Emperor Simon, Channels Television News.